Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's safe to say, let the new era begin. The JJ McCarthy era. There's a reason we wasted, or not really wasted, used the 10th overall pick in last year's draft to take JJ McCarthy. And it's because we had a plan for the future. Now, this season, he, had I think it was meniscus tear, an MCL tear. So he was basically done for the entire season. We weren't going to see JJ McCarthy on the field this year, especially after signing Sam Darnold. We already knew he was going to be the starter, but after the last 2 weeks, week 18 and the wild card weekend against the Rams, well, that era of the Sam Darnold era is done with. There's no way the Minnesota Vikings can bring back Sam Darnold after those last two performances. The dude, he's good and all because of the system. He made some good plays. He did all that. Let's do 14-3 season. He's just not cut out for the big time matchups. And that I'm not sure what JJ McCarthy has in store, but it's time to move forward. It's time to look forward to the future. That's the JJ McCarthy era. It's time for him. Sam Darnold, thank you, but not so much. See you later. It's over. It's done with. I'm pumped up. Let's talk about the JJ McCarthy era and what it might mean. Let's talk about why we have to make this transition. But first, shout out to our partners at Green Gridiron. If you want one of these mini helmets, feel free to hit the link I have pinned in the comment section. It's also in the description, and use promo code MINSYN, MINSYN, at checkout to receive a small discount on your purchase. Now, if they already have a current deal going on, you can actually stack this promo code on top of that to receive even more off of your final purchase. Now, they have NFL helmets, college helmets, fully customizable ones. They even have the replica helmets and the life size or the actual helmets you can wear on a football field. Green Gridiron is the place for you if you're looking for a gift, something to hang up. You're a fan of a team. Maybe you need one because you're playing football, right? Green Gridiron is your place, or is the place that you need to go. So make sure to hit that link in the comment section or in the description and use promo code MINSYN, MINSYN, at checkout to receive a little bit off of your purchase. So if there's a silver lining to come from Sam Darnold's rough outing in the Vikings season-ending loss to the Los Angeles Rams on Monday night, is that the team's offseason quarterback decision now appears to be pretty straightforward. It's time to hand JJ McCarthy the keys to the car. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Give JJ McCarthy the keys. 2 weeks ago, it looked like Darnold had forced himself into Minnesota's future plans, right? We were all talking about it. He had just torn up the Packers' defense in the Vikings' 9th consecutive win, leaping into the arms of his overjoyed teammates after the victory. Remember, it looked like a movie scene, Kevin O'Connell in the background, just smiling, looking at his quarterback. Well, guess what? Those days are over, okay? That week, he earned a well-deserved Pro Bowl selection, the first of his career. It's much deserved, right? He was playing at such a high level that the idea of letting him leave in free agency was starting to be difficult to fathom. Well, it took just 2 games for the entire picture to change drastically. First, Darnold flopped with everything on the line in Detroit in Week 18. Then, instead of bouncing back in his first playoff start, he put up another dud, absolute dud. It was terrible to watch. Darnold's performance against the Rams will be remembered for the 9 sacks he took, most of which came more than 4 seconds after the snap, but he wasn't particularly accurate when he did throw the ball, right? If you hold the ball for more than 4 seconds, you probably should think about being a backup in this league. You have to get the ball away faster than 4 seconds. The offensive line can only hold for so long. Sam Darnold couldn't do it. I mean, it was bad. It was a bad 2 weeks to watch, right? Those 2 issues compounded to make it a rough night for the 7th-year quarterback in the most important game of his life. These are Darnold's combined numbers for the last 2 games, in which the Vikings scored a total of 1 touchdown and 18 points. He went 43 of 81, which is 53%, 411 yards passing, which is about 205.5 per game, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 1 fumble loss, and 11 sacks. It wasn't close to good enough in a pair of primetime road contests against very good teams. The harsh reality is that while Darnold played extremely well for the large majority of this season, his play in the 2 biggest games and what matters most He was shaky from an accurate standpoint. His previous success escaping pressure in the pocket and making plays turned him into holding onto the ball for far too long and taking drive-killing sack after drive-killing sack on Monday night in the wild card game. To use the infamous phrase from earlier in his career, it looked like he was seeing ghosts at times. It literally did. I don't know what was going on, but the pressure got to him. Sam Darnold can't perform under pressure, plain and simple. That's Sam Darnold. You know what you're going to get. To be clear, it wasn't all Darnold's fault. Okay, the Rams' defensive line played an incredible game. The Vikings' offensive line got whooped. I'm talking Brian O'Neill got whooped. Dalton Reisner got whooped. Everybody on the offensive line got whooped. Kevin O'Connell was outcoached by both Sean McVay and Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula, who, yes, we understand. We heard it a million times on the broadcast, and the last time we played the Rams is the grandson of the great Don Shula. Nobody cares. Good for him. Okay, I'm sure he doesn't really care. I mean, he probably does care a little bit, but listen, he outcoached us. Plain and simple. His defense was great. He did a great job, phenomenal job. But that's actually part of the reason why the Vikings should let Sam Darnold walk and turn things over to JJ McCarthy. Instead of franchise tagging Darnold for $41 million or signing him to even the Baker Mayfield deal of 3 years, $100 million, the Vikings need to pour their cap space into getting better in the trenches. That starts with upgrading the interior of the offensive line. They have to address a few weaknesses across their roster, and the best way to do that is by taking advantage of the rookie quarterback contract, a la what San Francisco was able to do because of Brock Purdy, and make those extensions. Re-sign Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Nick Bosa, make those big time moves to keep those pieces to make their team even better, right? Yes, McCarthy is proven in the NFL, or is unproven in the NFL and coming off a knee injury that cost him his rookie season. But the Vikings drafted him 10th overall to be their franchise quarterback, and all he did last offseason before getting hurt was validate their belief in him. McCarthy looked the part in training camp and in his one preseason game. I thought he looked pretty solid, right? Now it was preseason, so you can't really you got to take that with a grain of salt, right? But he was a big game performer in college. If he pans out for the Vikings while on his rookie deal, it could change everything in regards to their ceiling. It's enough of the Sam Darnold, enough of the Joe Schmoes in the quarterback room. There's a reason we drafted JJ McCarthy 10th overall. The Sam Darnold era is over. The JJ McCarthy era is now. And it begins basically in 6 months. So get ready for it. I'm jacked up. I think it'd be the smart decision to let Sam walk. Can't pay him all that money. We have $72 million in cap space next year. Spend that on the offensive line. Spend that on some more DBs. Help that defensive back room out, even though we do get Mekhi Blackmon back, right? Fix the roster. Make it a little bit better. We have to be able to compete with the Detroits, with the Philadelphia Eagles, with all these big-time teams. We have to be able to do that. And we can't do that if we sign Sam Darnold. It's the JJ McCarthy era. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Let the JJ McCarthy era begin. Have a great rest of the night, folks. And Skol Vikes.